Hello people, and welcome back to part 17 of Palaven, our vanilla Cities Skylines build. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And thank you for all the likes, comments, shares and suggestions on the last episode where we looked at a nice transition from our low density, small town vibes we have going on over here into introducing a little more concrete and kind of harsher shapes into our city here. You guys really enjoyed it. Metro station was a big talking point of the news of the week. It looks great, doesn't it? Really happy with it, and I can't wait to get stuck into the downtown. Before we do start the downtown infrastructure, I want to unlock a few more tiles around it so we can hook the highway into here and over here as well. So we'll be a couple of episodes away, I believe, from kind of working on the downtown road network episode, but it is coming very soon. However, in today's episode, I want to work on a fishing harbour, a fishing marina, whatever kind of word or phrase you want to go for here. And so fishing, of course, was introduced with Sunset Harbour, and it's not kind of the most exciting industry of them all. It's alright. I guess we'll take this back up to here. Yeah, we're level with that road guard line there, aren't we? But before we do, we're going to need to do a fair bit of terraforming, I'm afraid. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So I want this to kind of lie in this corner that we've got going on. Away from like the edge of this graveyard, which we are going to delete, it's just emptying out right now. Up to this corner where the highway meets. And then probably up to this bridge as well. So I think we'll start by drawing this bridge out. So this thing will eventually flow into the downtown, almost as like a little elevated express road. Which I think will be really nice. If we go out one more, we can get the pillars. Oh, it's not pillars, is it? Like, I don't know, like suspension cables? I'm guessing that has some kind of structural importance to the bridge. I don't know what it's called. Let's go for suspension cables. Okay, so terraforming. We're going to be using the highest intensity with the medium brush and level terrain. Now, I want the water to be quite low down in this marina. Oh, no, not low down, like kind of really close to the edge of the quay. So there isn't much of a drop. So let's go for kind of this second little ridge here. Yeah, that'll be fine. We're going to cut all this away. Move up to the larger brush for this section. Actually, no, it'll stay in the medium. And we'll cut all this back up to here. And then we'll come to here as well. So we're going to have some really nice layers of kind of depth and height. Kind of how we're now merging this road onto its own little layer. And also the highway as well. Very similar to what we've done with the university. How it's kind of like a little tier above, you know. That's what we're going to be. That same idea and themes beginning to repeat itself in Palaven, you know. So we have that uniformity across the city. And all this as well. I want to kind of draw off a big square box with the terraforming tool. There we go, and just flatten some of this stuff out along the edge as well. But it will flood temporarily because the water will lose its mind until it kind of finds its place in the world. I want to make sure that we don't make the river look too unnatural here, even though it is a very kind of man-made structure. But we will, of course, tidy that up towards the end of the episode as well. How long do you have left to go? Not long, you're very nearly done. It's going to be the harbour, the fishing harbour of the city, right? Not the kind of the commercial cargo harbour. Fire in the rain. What's burning down now? Of course it's the Green Cities buildings. Every time. I swear to God it's not fixed. I'm not like spamming random disasters before I start recording. Okay, so let's match up our shores with the keys. Let's go ahead and grab our 2-lane gravel. And we're going to come down. Make sure we're touching the ground. And I want to snap onto the road guideline of the highway. And we'll come out by... Let's see here, let's come from this one. I guess we'll do groups of 40 just for starting out. I can't build on water. Once the water goes away, we'll be good. There we go. So we'll come out there as well. And maybe not here because I want to give a little bit of room for kind of like an entrance and exit into the harbour. And then we need to terraform a touch more here as well. So if we right click from this point and then just drag along, we should be good to go up here as well. So we just went and dug a little more soil out of the nature reserve. And then we'll wait for the water to subside, and then we can draw in the key roads. So we'll come out here by a distance of 20 for right now. Bring that one down, and then we'll cut this one back, and then we'll come out by 10. And then maybe 5 more. So just working in units of 5 will help keep things nice and square. And then I'm pretty sure we can have this as the entrance to the harbour. We might even lopside it a little bit. I guess we'll see. Okay, then we're going to jump into the world of slope terrain. Right click one of the cliffs here, and I guess we'll pause for this right now. And then we'll dig all this out. So it's using the slope terrain. We're going to dig up at a level, or dig out at a level where the water can flow in. And then just push it up against all these dirt roads that we've just drawn in. So what this does is, I've mentioned this a couple of times, but for anyone that doesn't know, it essentially prepares your land for having keys placed against it, because by pushing the slope up to the dirt roads, it essentially means you can snap the keys onto the road guideline. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Wait for the water to come in. Might even go a little deeper here, a bit shallow. But you can't really tell when the water's in anyway, to be honest. Get some nice walking paths across here as well. A little bridge that comes over the entrance of the harbour. This should be a really nice build. Looking forward to this one. There we go. So the water will come in, it'll stabilise around. No, the water physics in Cities Skylines can be temperamental when they want to be. But we'll hang around and we'll wait for the water to stabilise, and we'll be right back. Okay, so most of the water has sunken back into the marina now. So what we can do is we can delete this one right here. Jump into our landscaping and disaster. Grab ourselves some water structures and some keys. Now we can see the road guidelines of the dirt roads that we've drawn in, so we can snap onto these. And now we can snap onto the road. It does take a little bit of time for the water to, again, just kind of stabilise itself out and find its feet, but it will do eventually. Go to that one. Easy, just hang around until your tool turns blue, and then you'll be good to go. Super. Once the water stabilises, again, we'll have a little bit more of a platform here. We'll probably also bring it up to the sides here as well. Okay, so I'm happy with the shape of the marina now. All the water has begun to stabilise. And we've got a little bit of room here at the front of it to do some nice rock detailing, get a path and a crossing over the front of the marina as well. Just get a little visualisation of what that would look like actually. And I'm not going to use the elevated zoo path for this, I'm sure you'll be surprised to know. Yeah, so kind of like that. Like a little, like, arched footbridge that goes over the top. I think that'd be pretty nice. But we'll focus on fishing industry first of all, of course. So let's go ahead and grab our first fishing harbour. As we kind of look at the fishing tab here, we agreed with the legend, which details anchovies, salmon, shellfish and tuna, which of course are represented by their respective colours within the water. The deeper the water, the higher end the fish, if that makes sense. So if it's really shallow like the harbour is, you're going to catch anchovy. If it's really deep like the middle of the river, you're going to catch tuna. You can affect this with terraforming. If you do want to kind of generate tuna, then just dig your water out really deep and you will eventually see the blue begin to appear. So it can be manipulated to what you want. There are kind of a fishing harbour of each fish. They specialise, because you have like the regular fishing harbour, which will catch a bit of everything. However, the named fishing harbours such as anchovy, salmon, shellfish and tuna have specialised fishing boats that have a higher catch rate and capacity, as long as their fishing routes are covering the right type of fish. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, So let's go ahead and place in the first one here. We're not going to have too many. I think we'll probably go for maybe get these ones on the top set up first. So we'll go for one. So let's go ahead and hook these guys together. Bring a road out through here, and then we'll have another harbour down here at some point as well. And what we do is we unlock the other ones by catching a unit of fish. As we do catch them, I'll throw in a couple of different ones in between episodes, and we'll come back and take a look at them. But for right now, we'll just work with the fishing harbours since that's all we've got. We've got the fish farms, but I want to see the boats moving about, so that's what we'll use instead. So, try a little fishing routes here. So very similar to ferry lines. We just draw out a little dotted blue line. They don't have to be too long, in fact they can be really short. We'll bring it back in. We'll kind of have a look at how their efficiency works in a minute as well. We'll do the same thing with this one. So straighten that one up a little bit as well. Super. So now we've got those fishing routes drawn in. You can see how they kind of loop around. And as we begin to see the boats depart, notice that they begin to fill up their percentage bar. And if they're a little too short, then we just amend them. Going to come back in. Pretty much at 100 is going to make it back in, hopefully. Perfect. Pretty much perfect anyway. So now we'll see the waters come to life a little bit more. See some boats moving around Palaven's rivers. Okay. So what we might need to do here actually is open up this side of the harbour, which we can do quite easily because you can't cross the fishing lines over. And if we want any more fishing lines through here, then we're not going to be able to squeeze through the entrance. So just make the entrance a little wider. Yeah, we can do that if we want to. I think that's what we'll do. We'll take away this little kind of clip of land right here. Again, using our slope tool to line everything up. We should be able to eyeball this one without using the dirt roads. There we go. Basically, we're going to hang around and wait for us to get the tuna fishing harbour, which is 2 million units of fish caught. You can see how much we've caught already. And then we can use tuna fishing and probably a little bit of anchovy fishing as well because we've got so many anchovies in the harbour. Maybe a touch of salmon too because there's a lot of salmon around here. Yeah, so hang around, wait for us to unlock the final tuna, and then we'll be right back. Okay, boys and girls, we have reached the promised land. We now have a tuna fishing harbour, and since we have mainly tuna around here, we will be focusing primarily on tuna. But not enough bites to fish, well that's wonderful, because we're going to be catching plenty of them. We'll take all these out now, and then we'll work with the tuna as kind of the end game for our fishing harbour here. Let's come ahead and delete these fishing lines. So in terms of the positioning of these things, obviously we want them to kind of look good by themselves, so we'll probably go for, I'll say 2 along here. Let's move this one over as well. We'll pop it there for right now. Should be good for the road to come through here, might be a little bit steep. Yeah, there's a slight raise in it, but ooh, this isn't great, is it? We'll decorate that, ignore that for right now. Okay, and then I wonder if we just go for like a small little cute one. Not sure. We'll kind of see how that fares. So the tuna fishing harbours, they're kind of a lot grander. I like this raised harbour, and they look really great kind of up alongside the quays here as well. Let's see how we look coming down from here. Not like that. Yeah. And then we'll do the same thing over here as well, see if we can get a little bit of a curve going on here. And then we'll come down this way. So in terms of the incline, I don't think I'm actually too bothered by that. I kind of like the way it's raised up. Got some nice space in here as well for some rocks and some fences to kind of keep the harbour secure, you know? Well, not secure, but you know, it has to be has to have a fence like everything else in the city. Okay, in terms of this bridge, I think we're going to cut this back, and can we come out at an angle? Yes, we can. And what we'll do is we'll just keep everything in nice, even intervals of 10 as we cross the river. The height should remain pretty sensible here. And then just by keeping everything in intervals of 10, we'll make sure that we get the arches all the same length as well. And then we can leave that bridge there, because just as a reminder that we want to hook into at some point here. We'll probably hook this into the ring road of the downtown that will eventually kind of run along these shores here. Starting to see some more bridge infrastructure develop on different places of the river now as well. There'll be another one here too. Probably another one further down here. So the rivers of Palaven will really start coming to life a little bit more now, especially with the boats and these bridges kind of crossing over them. Which will be nice. It'll be nice. Okay, let's hook the road into this side and we'll begin to kind of come under this bridge here. I need to curve away a little bit. And then again, we want to tidy up this place a little bit. Now, I think what we'll end up doing with this junction here is converting this into a trumpet. Kind of like is it a double trumpet where you can kind of get on from both sides? But we'll do that in a different episode. We're not going to tear apart that interchange today. And then we'll just have a little kind of cliffside road. That's going to run up and hook into there. This junction should cope fairly well for the meantime. Won't get too busy, I don't think. Again, we've got some more space for kind of rock and path detail along here as well. Super. And then we'll hook into this side too. What kind of... do we want the fish market here as well, I wonder? Let's snap onto the road guideline of one of the keys. And then we'll bring it down here. So we got the fish market in. Go ahead and draw ourselves a little box around this thing because it looks a little bit odd the way the kind of the concrete texture just ends. So I think boxing will be for the best. We'll take this. So give a nice little box around the fish market. I think it fits in quite nicely up alongside the key as well. It's like catch of the day, you know? Wouldn't that be nice? And then let's rework the ring road here a little bit. I think what we'll do is we'll convert this into a larger road. Now, do we want the fish factory down this end as well? Because it is a pollutive building and I'm a little reluctant to have pollution this close to the suburb. It wouldn't affect it too much, but it would come near the water, which isn't ideal. How does it look if we place the asset in itself? Yeah, it does fit in really nicely with the fish market, but it's just... it's too heavily pollutive, you know? I think we might put one of the warehouse assets down here instead. If we come into warehouses, what about unique buildings? Could maybe run for a medium warehouse instead. Just so there's another industrial asset here, you know? So we'll set this guy just to store up some commercial zoned goods. We will go over kind of a proper factory storage, warehouse storage area once we come to work on kind of our factory centre. Which will probably be a little while away yet, kind of where we combine all of these buildings into one major highway network so we can make ridiculous amounts of money. And it is going nighttime, Palaven, the sun is setting. Get a little view of the harbour here. Looks great from up here on top of the bridge as well. I'm a big fan of this. Of course, we want to get some boats going, don't we? Let's work on that. Go ahead and grab our fishing lines again, and we're going to bring them out. Let's go into freeform. And I guess we'll have this guy travel around all the tuna waters. It's kind of a shame that the fishing routes have to be so short because you only end up with boats active on like a little bit of the water. Which is a shame, but you know, it's you can make them longer, you just have to deal with the route inefficiency. It isn't the end of the world. And then we'll come out here as well, and then we'll send this harbour out this way. Bring it all along these waters. And again, just remember, if they are kind of end up too inefficient, you always just make them a little bit longer or shorter. Just a case of kind of testing it to see how it goes. We can see some boats coming out now. So the tuna boats are a little bigger as well than the other ones. Wonderful. Do water. And then do the same thing here. Yeah, once we kind of got stuff on the other side of the river as well, we're going to see all these boats kind of moving around between there and the two sides of the river, which will be nice. They're kind of having things on both sides of the river here. We don't want these traffic lights here. Let me delete that. And all these turned off. Everyone just flow through. You don't need to wait. Be a little bit of backup as we store some goods in here. Just as it fills up, I'll be fine. Okay, check some boats coming back. He's at 81. This guy's at 88. Yeah, so that's probably a little bit too long now, but... Yeah, so he's going to fill up there. The tuna water ends, so he fills up just before the bridge. That's fine. I'm not really bothered about that. That's okay. You see, you get a little warning for low route efficiency. It does just let you know, but you know, fishing, it's not a huge moneymaker. It's just, it's alright, I guess. Fishing isn't kind of my favourite industry, but it can be fun to make these little marinas, you know? Okay, let's work on that footbridge. So I want to go ahead and grab the park path. And we'll snap to this road guideline. I guess this will be okay for here. Bring it down a little bit. Just want to make sure we're not going to be clipping with any of the boats. Not that it makes a difference to them. But obviously just for kind of realism purposes. We don't want them to be kind of clipping through the bridge here. Nice little marina walkway, you know? Then that'd be nice. Oh, come on, send me a boat. I want to see if it clips. Here we go. Here's one. Ooh, yeah, just about. Down here as well. Yeah, they're okay. And then I guess we'll bring this into the middle of the highway. Right about there will be fine. And then again, we'll just snap to our angle. And then bring it into there as well. Oh, the cyclists. Hello. Thank you for using the cycle network. Okay guys, well, that's going to feel like a good place to jump into a detailing time lapse. Tidy up some of these kind of empty areas here. Do some nice rocks and stuff and overgrowth around the river shorelines. And then tidy up some of these kind of very boring roads that are just coming into the harbour right here. So as always, I'll be right back. Okay, boys and girls, that is going to do it for today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, a like below is always appreciated. Equally as much if you haven't enjoyed it, please feel free to leave a dislike as well. Really kind of cute, small, slightly suburban harbour. We'll definitely do kind of a bigger cargo harbour and include some of the fishing stuff as well if we get to the point of unlocking the 25/81 tile mod, which obviously is a fair bit away yet, but we'll definitely revisit some fishing if you guys want to. With little notes, possibly built the keys a little bit too low. Maybe next time and off camera I will raise them up a little bit. And also the highway exit off the main highway just to the kind of middle left of the screen there is now starting to choke a little bit, so we will upgrade that as well, just so the traffic can flow a little bit easier. But otherwise, I'm very happy with this. It fits really nicely into this little corner of the river that we had, and introduces a little more concrete as well, which we're now looking to do as we move towards the downtown. If you would like to name the fishing harbour, please feel free to throw it in the comments as usual. Otherwise, I will leave it there. I want to thank you all so much for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.